Yes, ma'am. So in the previous class, we have started the concept of PHP. PHP means Hypertext Preprocessor, which is a kind of a server-side scripting language. Okay. So then we have seen what are the uses of PHP, how to work with the PHP, what is the difference between web server and a kind of database, and what do you mean by exam, how to install the exam, all these things we have seen. In addition to that, what is the structure we need to follow while writing any kind of PHP code, and then how to write the comments, and then we have seen various kind of variables like local variable, global variable, static variable, how to write all those variables, and then we have seen the constants, data types, what do you mean by arrays, objects, strings, and how to perform the form handling in PHP, right? And then we have seen the differences between get and post also. Okay. Then we have gone through various kind of control statements and then looping statements with various kind of examples. Okay, fine. This is all about basic concepts of PHP. Now in today's class, we'll see further concepts like those all will comes under advanced part. One is file inclusion concept. The concept is file inclusion. Guys, before going for the file inclusion concept, let me take example. Let me take rgktslm.ac.in website. For example, I am asking you to develop a web page called rgktslm.ac.in. What you are going to do, you are going to create a page called home.php. You are going to create a page called careers.php. You are going to create a page called about.php or address.php. Am I right or not? But if you go for all these pages, the header part, that is something like the university name and the navigation part and the footer part, is it same or not? For all the pages, if you take careers page, if you take about.page, or if you take home.php, in all these pages the content is same, the header part as well as footer part is same, except the body part is changing, right? So but what you are doing up to now, I think I have given in the previous class, you have given some projects, right? You are going to simply copy the code of one page and trying to paste in another page and trying to modify the code wherever it is necessary. That is what you are doing. But in this particular approach, what is the problem? The same code you are trying to write again and again or not? Again. So it means as you are trying to increase the number of code, the size of the file also increases. When the size of the file is increases, size of the server increases. Size of the server is increasing, the burden on the server will be increased. So that at the end, the performance of the server is decreases. That is the problem. So whatever the code that you are trying to write, you have to write the code in a minimized manner. For example, if you take a C language, you are going to reuse the code, right? How we are going to reuse the code? By simply using the concept of functions. In Java, how we are going to reuse the code? By simply using the concept of functions. Similarly, if you would like to reuse the code which is available in some location, then you can go for the concept called file inclusion. So file inclusion means writing one set of code in another PHP file. Another PHP file, that is what we call it as a file inclusion. So writing one set of code means that can be any kind of HTML file, or that can be any kind of PHP file. It can be any kind of file. I'm going to simply write in another file. Okay, fine. Let's see how to do that. Okay, so before going for the example, let me start my exam server. So just search for the exam, click on giving the permissions, click on start Apache. I don't want to start MySQL because I'm not working with the database part. So once I started Apache, then I can go with the local host. So I think in the previous class I have taken this concept CSC3. This is what I did. Okay, fine. So what I will do is I will go with the C drive. Guys, where you are going to save the all files? C drive, exam folder, HEDocs. In HEDocs, you are going to create one folder. That folder is responsible for to execute all your corresponding files. For example, I am trying to create a folder called RGUKT. RGUKT. I am trying to implement a website. So let me open Sublime Text. I will open the folder. The folder is RGUKT. I'm I'm going to close this one. So this in this folder, I would like to implement a site that is RGUKT site, where I would like to implement 3 pages. One is home.php, careers.php, about us.php. Let us check that. I'm going to save the file. The folder is RGUKT, right? So I'm writing it as index.php so that it will be loaded for the first time. I know to write specifically call the file name index.php. I'm going to create one more file that is, let me take it as careers.php. I'm going to create one more file. I'm trying to save it as about.php. About.php. Guys, I have given certain requirement for you. One is you would like to write one HTML page. In that, you need to write header part. What is the header part contains? For example, this is top of the web page. Top of the web page. And also you will have some kind of navigation bar. How we are going to create the navigation bar? Basically, you will go with the nav bar, all those things. If you are working with the bootstrap, I would like to go for only simple part here. That is anchor tag. Let me take href equal to, whenever user clicks on index page, that means home page, that should be related to the same page only. Then I'm going to create one more anchor tag. That is, let me take it as careers.php. Once the user clicks on careers, it will be related to careers.php. Once the user clicks on about.php, I need to open about.php. About.php. Guys, this is common for all pages or not? Yes. And then I need to write the body of the web page. So, like for example, body of index page. Body of index page. And I'm trying to write footer part. Let me take, this is footer of the web page. This is footer of the web page. Guys, now up to now what you did, you are going to simply copy this code, Control A, Control C, copy the code, and trying to paste here. What is modifying there? Only body part, right? Body of careers page. And here also we are going to paste, this is body of about page. Body of about page. Guys, if I go for the site, so I think the file, the folder name is RGKit, right? Once you press, you will get the index page automatically. Okay. So for more performance point, take some break. Okay, I think index.php I have taken. That is actually in. I need to modify. See, what is the problem you are observing? If you would like to modify some modification, you need to modify in all pages. That is also one more problem, right? So I'm going to refresh. Yes, we got this one. Yes. So this is the index page, right? Whenever user clicks on home, that will not be rated. It will be on the same page. Clicks on careers, that will be on the careers page. If you click on about, that will be on the same. So what is modifying there? Only body of the page is modifying, but all the remaining code is modifying. No. So that is a problem here. So meaning that the code is same for all pages. So meaning that the number of lines of code is increasing or not. So is there any particular process, can we reduce the number of lines of code or not? Meaning that we can go for the concept called file inclusion. File inclusion, meaning that we can able to write one file into another file. How we are going to do that? That we can do with help of two keywords. One is include, another one is require. With help of these two, we can able to get the concept of file inclusion. How we are going to do that? For example, guys, I don't want to go for reuse the code writing like this every time. Instead of this, what I will do, as it is a common one, I will store it in some location. I am trying to save it as header.php. Header.php. And also this code is same or not? This is footer page is for common or not? Yes. Control N, Control V, Control S. I'll go with footer.php. Footer.php. These two pages are common for everything. Common for everything. Okay. Now, what I can do is, I can simply include the header.php file in this particular index.php, footer.php file in this index.php. How we are going to do that? So as it is a PHP code, you need to write in the form of between the PHP tags, right? Yes, I'm going to write in the PHP tags. So what you are trying to invoke? You need to invoke the header.php file. How we are going to do that? By simply using include. Include of, what is the file you need to include? Headerum, header.php, header.php. Once header is included, you can able to write your own code. No need to worry about anything. You can able to write your own code. Body of index page. That's it. Next, what you need to include? Footer. Include of footer.php. Footer.php. It will work as this the same manner of the previous code. You can observe, guys. Are you getting output or not? Yes. So what I can do is I can simply copy this code and I will replace in all files. So this is body of careers page. This is body of about page. Now I will refresh the page. If I click on careers, click on about, is it working in the same manner or not? Yes, that's it. But the difference is here we reduce the number of lines of code or not? Yes. See, we are trying to implement a small kind of feature, but in the real time, what will happen? If you are trying to work with any kind of real kind of applications, there will be a lot of code is there. So at the time, we will get is the number of lines of code. So this is the way you can able to work with the file inclusion concept. See, this is not only a kind of a PHP file, you can able to work with any kind of HTML also, no problem. For example, let me go with the jk.html. I'll create one page that is jk.html. jk.html. Hi, hello, calling from jk. So I think it is in about.php. So queries, no problem. If I click on about, hi, hello, calling from JK, body of the page, like this you are going to. Okay. So wherever you would like to reuse the code of any kind of HTML code or any kind of PHP code, you can go with the concept of file inclusion. File inclusion. Yeah, fine. So you can able to write the syntax in a different manner. For example, if you go for include this one, you can write this also. Include space header.php. This is also another way of writing this. How we are going to write the echo command? Ma? You can write like this also. You can write like this also. Echo of body of index page. The same manner I have written, right? Include with like as a kind of a function and include as a kind of a keyword. The same way you can able to work. Or you can write. Okay. The another way you can go with this one is instead of using the keyword called include, I can go with the keyword called require. Your application will work in the same manner. There is no problem in the application. There is no problem in the application. So for time being, I'm trying to modify this as header.php. Header.php. So here also, if you want, you can able to write as require of header.php. Observe. If I click on this one, about.php, it will work fine as usual. But what is the difference between this require and include? Guys, for example, if I go for writing here as require of header1.php and I'm trying to refresh it, click on about, what happened here? You are getting certain kind of warning. What is that warning? Require of header1.php fail to open the stream, meaning that there is no file with the name header1.php file. So that's what it is going to show certain kind of error. And is there any lines of code that is executing after this line? No. But if you go for here with the help of include, if I refresh, what will happen? It is going to provide an error or it is going to provide some warning. In including that, it is going to provide the remaining lines of output. What is the meaning of this one? Include is meant for, the difference is, whenever there is an error, it will provide an error. In addition to that, remaining lines of code is going to be executed. Is executed. But what about the require keyword? It will provide only error, meaning that whenever it encounters certain error, there itself it is going to stop its execution. Whereas coming to include, even though it got certain kind of error, it is going to provide a warning, and it will continue its execution. Okay. For example, sometimes what will happen is you are trying to work with something like this. For example, let me trying to create one form. For example, form. Or else I'm going to open the folder of CSC3. There I will just copy the code. Guys, you can observe, once I user clicks on file.php, once I user clicks on submit button of this particular file, I am trying to redirect it to a file called, let me take file.php, and in the file.php, let me trying to comment all this. Okay, once I clicks on submit button on this one, it need to be redirected to file.php. I'm going to create one file with the name file.php. File.php. In this file.php, I am trying to retrieve the data. So if you would like to retrieve the data, what you need to do? You have to compulsory go with the PHP code. So how we are going to write dollar, for example, n equal to, what is the method there we are using? Get of, I think the variable name is n. Variable name is n, and the another name is, let me take age, dollar underscore get of age, underscore get of age. Let me check whether my method is get or not. Yes, my method is get. So based upon this data, for example, if my age is greater than 5, my age is greater than 5, I need to include the file some queries.php. Let me take include of queries.php. Else, I need to include, let me take about.php. At that situation also you can able to work with, meaning that based upon certain condition you would like to invoke certain file. For example, where you will get this kind of situation. For example, if the login user is a kind of admin, you need to show some kind of web pages. If the user is a kind of a student, you need to display some web page. If the user is a kind of a faculty, you need to display certain pages. So at that situations you can go for this kind of process. So what I can do is I can go for the execution part. So for example, name, let me take enter as Jaya, and I'm trying to enter the value as 4. So if the value as 4, what I need to get? About.php, I think so. Yes, body of about page. Are you getting or not? So here this error you are getting because I have given some wrong name here. Observe ma. So I'm going to refresh once again. I'm giving certain value as 8. Based on this submission, I am going to invoke careers page. If my age is greater than 8, I am invoking careers page. If my age is less than 5, let me take as 4, I am going to invoke this is about us page. Similarly, what you can do, if the login user is a student, I need to open student.php. If the login user is a faculty, I need to open the faculty.php. If the login user is a kind of admin, I need to open the admin.php. Like this also you can able to go for this concept. So with the help of this concept, what you achieved, what are the advantages what you have done? The main purpose is you are going to achieve the concept of reusability. And one more thing is, you have observed something. For example, For example, I am asking you to update the spelling of careers, or I am asking you to update about in place of about I need to update it as about us. Then what you need to do actually in the previous process, you need to go for every page and you need to modify it as about us. Now what you can do, you can go for one file. In that file you can able to update as about us, that will automatically reflect it to all pages. So that is the that is one more advantage of this file inclusion concept. Okay, fine. Next concept we'll check for file system. File system. So guys, if you would like to work with the files which are available in the system, which are available in the system, then we can go with the concept of file system. The concept of file system. On any file, what are the various kind of operations you can perform, Amma? Can you tell? What are the various kind of operations we can able to perform? We can able to perform read operation, very good. We can able to perform write operation. We can able to perform append operation, very good. Can we close the file? Yes. But in order to perform all these operations, what is the minimum requirement? We need to open the file, very good. We need to open the file. These are the various operations that we can able to perform on any kind of file. In PHP also, we'll have various kind of predefined methods are there in order to work with the files. That is, in order to open a file, I need to go with the method called fopen method. In order to read, I can go with fread method is there. So based upon the type of data what you are doing. For example, I would like to read a character by character, like to read a character by character. Then I can go for a method called fgetC method is there. So in C also it is there, get a character. Similarly, instead of reading the character by character, you can able to read line by line. That we can able to do with the help of fgets. So if you want to read line by line, you can go with the fgets. Fgets. Or if you want to read the entire file at a time, then I can go for a method called fread method. Entire file reading, you can go for. So I will go with the entire structure, everything one by one in the execution part. Okay. Next, similarly, you can go for writing the file, writing into the file. That you can go with a method called fwrite method, or you can go with the fputs. Both are same. There is no difference between these two. So fputs is an alias for fwrite, and append is meant for the purpose of adding the data to the existing data. That is what we call it as append. Okay, fine. Similarly, for closing, so append, instead of saying that it is append, I can say that it is a kind of update operation. For close, we'll have a method called fclose method is there. Fclose method. So meaning that whatever the files that you are opening, that you have to specifically close that those resources. That is a better approach for us while writing any kind of code. Okay, fine. So now what I will do is I will go with the execution part. So I will try to comment this code. So I'm trying to work with only index.php. For example, let us take that. I'm trying to create one file called control s. I'm trying to work with a file called data.txt or data.csv, or it can be any kind of file. Let me try to work with php file only. Data.php. Here the data is hi, hello, welcome to CSC. CSC2 or good at programming. Let me take these two lines of code. Okay. Now my requirement is whenever a particular student is logged, he need to read the data. He need to read the data. Then what I can do, I can go for the file system approach. So what you are going to do, if you want to read the data, can I directly read the data or I need to open the file? I need to first open the file. So by using a command method called fopen method. Fopen method is meant for to open the file first. Meaning that before going to perform any kind of operation, first we have to open the file. F open of what is the file name you are going to read, that is data.php. So this can be a kind of relative path or it can be any kind of absolute path. And the second parameter is mode, in which mode you want to open, read mode. So that depends on the things. So the modes can be either read mode, read place, write mode, write place, a yes. These are the various kind of modes that are available for us. So initially what you are going to perform, you are trying to perform the read operation. I'm trying to perform the read operation, and it is going to provide some reference. That reference I'm going to make pointed to a pointer called fp. So in order to future use, I'm going to make it assign some variable, that is fp. So this first line is meant for I'm trying to read a file data.php in what mode, read mode. So I hope you know all this in C language, Java, everything, right? Next, I need to read the data. If you would like to read the data, you have to question yourself like I would like to read the character by character, line by line, or the entire content. For example, let me take I would like to read the entire content. Then what method you are going to use? Fread method. Fread method of what is the file you have to open, that is fp, which is pointed by the file, that is fp. Next, second parameter is how much length you want to read. For example, I want to read of length of 5. Length of 5. I am going to simply define it as echo something like this. Can I do it, ma? So guys, you can observe. I am going to simply go for execute the index.page. Observe guys. Hi, hello, welcome to CSC. Is there some content is there? How many characters it has read? 5. Because here you have given the length as 5. Length as 5. So you can able to specifically restrict yourself. For example, I want to read the entire file. Then I can have, I think there is a method called file size method is there. File size of what is the file name you need to read, what is the file size you want to find out, data.php. So whatever the size of the file is there for data.php, that much size of data I need to print. That's it. Hi, hello, welcome to CSC2. CSC2R good at programming. Okay, so this is the way I can able to do. So meaning that in the first approach what I did, I can able to specifically restrict to $fp comma, I can able to restrict it to a specific number of characters. That is one way. Or another way is I can able to read the entire file by specifying the size of the file directly. Because why I am trying to specifically work with file size, because I don't know exactly how many number of characters are available in the file. That's why I am trying to specify a built-in function called file size. Okay, so this is the way you can able to read the entire content of the file. Now next thing is I would like to read the line by line. Then I can go for a method called fgets method is there. Fgets. What is the file name? That is fp. I am trying to read as echo. F4. You can observe the output will be changes. Hi, hello, welcome to CSC. Guys, in data.php, 2 lines of code is there, but it is reading how many lines? 1 line. So because we are trying to work with fgets. Fgets. For example, I am trying to write here as fgetc. I am going to make it as comment. Now how much data you are going to get? 1 character. Observe what is that? H. So fgets is meant for what? To read the character by character. Fgets is meant for to read the line by line. The line by line. Yes, guys. For example, I would like to read the entire file with the help of a getc. Fgetc. Then what you can do? You need to go for reading the character by character until how much? Until up to which location you need to read? Until you will find the end of the file. How we are going to find the end of the file in C language? Java. UIF is there, right? End of the file is there. So similarly here also, while of, there is a method called FEOF, file end of the file. What is the file? FP. So while it is not the end, I need to go for printing character by character. I think you know we will get all the data, right? So this is the way you can do. So for what you will do is, for example, you will get certain kind of requirement like I would like to work with specific character of a file, then is it possible to work with directly freed method? Yes, of course it is possible. What we can do, the data which is written by the freed method, you can able to store in a variable. That variable act as a string. On that string, I can able to process it. On string, you can able to process. Instead of going for reading the file, converting into a string, and trying to process it, what you can do, you can go for a getC method. There you will get every time you will get one variable. Based upon that variable, you can able to process the data. So guys, what you can do is for the next class, you can write one observation and execution part. Try to read a file which contains some text. Try to find out all the variables. Try to replace the variable. Try to replace the vowels with the next corresponding letter. For example, if there is any vowel called E, I need to replace it with F. If I am find outing a vowel called U, I need to replace it with V. So that is what your work for the next class. Okay, this is the way you can able to work with the reading operation. Okay, fine. Next we'll go with the writing operation. So guys, first thing, whenever you have opened a file, it is always your responsibility to close that file by using a method called fcloseoff. What is the handle? That is fp. I need to close the file. That's it. I need to close the file. That's it. Okay. Next, what I will do is I will go for writing the file. While performing the writing operation, first of all, again you need to open the file, right? Fopen off. What is the file name? Data.php, and you are trying to perform what kind of operation? Write operation. So I will go with the writing, right, and I need to point it to some location like fp. Now can I perform some write operation by simply using fwrite method? Fwrite of what is the file you need to modify, that is fp, and the second parameter is what is the content you would like to modify. csc2 is a branch of, sorry, it's not a meaningful, is a class of CSC, is a class of CSC. Okay. Now if I refresh, is there anything you are going to get? No, right? For example, I am trying to write it as echo something, meaning that it will perform operation and it will return the number of characters that is has written in the file. So now you'll get something like 22. Why are you going to get 22? I think these are 22 characters. The number of characters that has written in the file will be returned by the fwrite method that I am going to uh, find out, that I am trying to print here. That is with the help of echo. Okay, if you open the file called data.php, that will be overridden. The previous data will be overridden. For example, instead of csc2, rgukt is good. Now if I execute, you will get certain 13 that will be overridden in the data.php rgukt is. So that is the use of write method. So here, if you would like to override the data, you will go for write operation. But the problem is what? You are losing the previous data. You are losing the previous data. But in the real time, nobody lost the existing data. So any data will be helpful for anyone, right? So we don't need to lose. We don't want to lose the previous data. Instead, I would like to instead of that, in addition to that, I need to add the existing data. Then I can go for what? Append method. Very good. I'll go with the append method. See guys, instead of using fwrite, I can go for fputs also. There is no difference. Fputs also. There is no. Rgukt is good. Located at node field. 31 characters are there. If you go for here, that will be updated. Okay, guys, if you want, you can able to restrict it to number of characters you would like to store. For example, I would like to go for only 8 characters. Then I can go for passing third parameter, like let me take 8. Meaning that out of these 31 characters, it is going to copy only 8 characters. Observe, refresh, 8 will be copied. That will be only 8. So this is the use of third parameter. Okay, once I opened a file, it is our responsibility to close the file. F close of dollar. Yeah. Okay, next operation is append operation. So why we are moving for append operation? If you don't want to lose the previous data, I would like to go with append operation. Dollar $fp equal to f open of data.php. I need to open it in a mode called append mode, and then so for append also what you can do, you can go with the f write or f puts. So I will write echo f write of what is the handle, fp handle. I'm trying to write it as I think the data is RGKT right there. So I'll go with CSC. I'll go CSC. I will try to write CSC is a good branch. CSC is a good branch. Now, if I refresh it, the total number of characters is 16 modified. It is going to, instead of overriding the existing data, it is going to append to the previous data. For example, if I am going to refresh for one more time, refresh for one more time, refresh for one more time, that data will be added for multiple times. That is the advantage of append one. Okay, but here the question is, I think here I have written three more modes. One is R plus, write plus, and A plus. Now tell me what is the difference between those three. Read is meant for reading the data, write is meant for writing the data, append is meant for appending the data, meaning that I don't want loss. I would like to add it to the previous data. Then what is the difference between R plus, write plus, and A plus? Guys, for example, I have opened a file in the read mode, and then uh, let us check. I am trying to write in the write. I am trying to perform some write operation. So we are going to perform write operation amma, by simply using write f write of $fp. What content you would like to modify as something like j. Now will you get output or will you get an error? Error. You will get an error. F write of 4 bytes failed, bad file descriptor on line number 22. Line number 22. So this is error you are getting because of you opened a file in the read mode, but you are trying to write it. So permissions are denied. That's why you are going to get an error, right? So instead of that, what you can do is you can go for R plus. Can you go for R plus? Now you can execute. It is successful, and that was updated here. I observed that. I'm going to write echo something like this. So instead of Jaya, I will go with different word, that is let me take it as student. Now you can observe the difference. If I refresh it, 7 characters are copied. Those 7 characters are updated in which location you observe? In the starting. From the file pointer, which is pointer starting location to the ending, it is trying to replace it character by character. That is what it is performing in the R place. Meaning that in R place, the advantage is in addition to read operation, it can able to allow for write operation. Write operation from starting point. Okay, fine. This is the advantage of R plus. Okay, if I open write plus, if I open the data, that is write mode, f write of RGKT is CSC comma 8. If I execute it, now that will be successful. You will get here as RGKT is so and so 8 characters is copied. That's okay. Fine. For example, before going to copy the data or before going to add the data to the existing file, I would like to read it. I would like to read the data. Then what you can do? I can go with fread method. Fread of $fp, comma. I would like to read, for example, 5 characters. 5 characters that I am trying to print. Now will you get the output? No. You will get an error because we have given we have not given any kind of permissions, because we have opened in a write mode, but we are trying to perform the read operation, so you are going to get an error. So to overcome that, we'll go with the write place. Write place. Okay. So in write place, what will happen? The data will be updated. RGKT is observe. Yes, it will update only 8 characters, and it will be overridden also. Overridden also, meaning that in write place also we can able to perform read operation, we can able to perform write operation, but that write operation is overwritten operation. That write operation is overwritten operation. Okay, and one more thing is, guys, for example, I'm trying to make it comment, trying to make it this also comment. If I go for here, I'm trying to open the file with the name data1.php. Data1.php. If I refresh it, will you get an error? Yes, because the data1.php is not available. Data1.php is not available. Irrespective of whether it is R or R place, if the file is not available, it is going to provide an error. It is going to provide an error. But coming to f open of write operation or write plus operation, if the file is available, if the file is available, it is going to open the file. If the file is not available, it is going to create the new file. For example, I would like to define the data1.php in what operation? Write plus mode. Will it going to provide error? No. So even though the file is not available, data1.php, it is going to create it that will be copied the data. Copied the data. Okay. So this is the difference between read plus and write plus. Next we'll go with a plus. A plus. So in a, if it is normal A mode, if I am trying to perform the read operation, what will happen? You will get an error. So if you don't want to go for that, if you would like to perform the read operation also, then you can go for a plus operation. A plus operation. Then I can go for performing read of $fp, something like 4 characters. 4 characters. Then I would like to append. I would like to append data based upon certain condition. That is f write of $fp. What is the content you would like to append? End of the file. Got it. First 4 characters is going to display and everything will be updated. If you go for data.php, something like this. This is from the previous thing, I think so. End of the file is added. So this is the difference between various kind of modes, like append mode. In append mode, what will happen? You can able to perform a read operation. You can able to write, but here it is going to be simply added to the previous data. So once you have completed your own operation, you can able to close the file by simply using the f close of dollar. See, not only this particular process, Amma. So not only reading about a PHP file, we can able to read any kind of file by using CSV file, or it can be anything. Okay. Okay, guys, this is for today's class.